Okay, so at this point in the videos, you should be ready and excited. Maybe not excited. Let's hope you're excited. I'm going to pretend you're excited. I'm excited for you to be starting to actually create your own markdown documents. So what we're going to do in this video is mouse. There we go. Okay, so we're going to dive into the details. What I want to do is talk about some of the most common things you need to do when creating an R Markdown document. And the very first thing you'll have to do is create the document itself. So, assuming you're in R Studio Cloud, the way that you can do this is to go over here to the File menu and under New File, and you can see it gives you lots and lots and lots of options. We scroll down to the one that says Markdown File. Create a new Markdown document. That looks good. This is a plain text file. There's nothing special about it. I'm just going to, before I type anything, I'm going to save it, and I will call this my first markdown.md. Right? So we go save. And what you can see over here on the in the bottom right area is there's this new document that has appeared in the file tab pane. Now, for those of you who've never encountered RStudio before, what we're looking at here is a bunch of different things. Over on the top left is your document itself. So up there is the document. Down on the bottom left, we have R. We're not actually going to use R for anything in this video series, so it's just going to be left there all nice and lonely. Up the top right, we've got a bunch of things that are important for R, but we're not going to use that for much either. Down here on the bottom right, we've got a bunch of things where we can see the files that we've created and a whole lot of other options that will come in handy as you start getting familiar with R. But right now, all we really need to know is that this is showing you the file here on the bottom right, and the contents of the file are up here on the top left. Okay, so let's go back to the slides. Right, we've got a document. Now we need to type things. So most of what you're going to do is just type normal text. But every now and then you want to really emphasize something because it's super important to you and you really care. And you might want to use italics, you might want boldface, or if something's really, really important, you could do bold and italics. And using asterisks is the way that you do this. So text that is surrounded by an asterisk on either side will end up being italicized. If you've got 2 asterisks, it becomes bold. If it's 3, then you get bold and italics. So in this particular theme, the one that is being used by my slides, this is what the output looks like. So you can see, yep, italics, bold, and bold italics. All right, let's go back over to our document and try it ourselves. So I'm kind of going, hey, this is my first markdown document. Why can I not spell? I love this because obviously I do. You'll notice that as I type, it's turned the text into a different color. That's not actually part of the document itself. This is RStudio trying to be helpful by saying, hey, guess what? You've just made that italics or whatever. So it is really important to do cool things. Actually, I want the cool things to be, I want the important to be bold, and I'm going to have the cool things in bold and italics, like so. So this is what I showed you in the slides. So we'll save it. So we can just click on the little save icon over there. And then if I just click on preview, it will go It's going to say, oh, you want to do stuff with our markdown. This is to be expected. I quite deliberately designed this in a way that says, what's this? Rendering our markdown documents requires blah, 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 blah. All of this stuff that you see in this screen is related to our knowledge that you will learn later on in my classes. Right now, all you have to do is click yes, and then be bored for a while we wait for our Studio to go and do its thing. So right now what it's about to do is start installing things. I'm sure it will. That's its job. Unfortunately, everything takes a little longer than you'd hope, and there we go. Now we're up and running. Okay, so you can see all of this stuff, blah, 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 blah. This is R doing things that it's supposed to do, and you don't have to care about this right now. This is excellent. Okay, looks like we're done. And we have our document. This is my first markdown document. I love this. You can see that it's in italics. You can see there's bold and there's bold italics together. So it looks like we've created something that is about right for what we are hoping to achieve. What I am going to do, because I have just realized this, is a sneaky thing. I can make my screen bigger so that it's a little easier for you to read what's on it. I'm going to do it over here too. That hopefully will make it a little easier in the recordings. There we go. For you to be able to see all of the text. Okay, so let's go back over to the slides. All right, so we've learned how to emphasize text. A very common task when writing documents is to create lists, right? So you might want to have an unnumbered list or a numbered list. So if you just want dot points, then using a hyphen at the start of each line will create a new dot point for you. If you want it to be a numbered list, you'd just use numbers. So 1 dot will then go numbered list, 2 dot, looks like that. And it'll produce output that looks like that. Let's go and check this back in our document. Okay, so we'll go an unnumbered list with multiple items. Okay, we'll save that and we'll click preview again. Let's see what it does. And it goes blah. And there you go. Over here we can see this is my first mark document. I really love this. It's important to do cool things, and we've got an unnumbered list. Excellent. Let's check that the numbered list thing works. So 1, this is the first thing. Then we do another thing. And 1 more for no particular reason. Okay, save it again, click preview. It does what it's supposed to. Let's go and have a look at the document that it's just created. There we go, the document pops up. Yep, we've got our list. So it looks like we're making progress. Yay! Okay. What else can we do? Most often, or when you're writing scientific documents at least, you'll probably want to have headings and subheadings and subheadings. You can go all the way down to 6-level headings, but generally I'd prefer never to go below 3 levels when I create a document, but this is the kind of thing that it looks like. So to create headings, you use what in my dialect of English is called the hash sign. In other Other types of English, it's called a pound sign. Otherwise, it's called an octothorpe. Anyway, the symbol that I have highlighted there is how you do it. Okay, so let's go check this out. Let's say go back to our first document. Let's give it a heading at the beginning. So we'll call it a very cool markdown document. Why did I not put that in? There we go. So that, we'll save it. Let's check, preview, and let's bring up the document again. A very cool markdown document. Okay, so we've got a heading. Excellent. And underneath we'll kind of go, let's have a subheading reminding us that about unnumbered lists, unnumbered. You know what? I'm just going to live with my typos. That's appalling. We can have another one of numbered lists. Click save again. Okay. Right, what I'm going to do is drag this down so you've got a bit more room to see the whole document, and then I'll go preview, and let's go and have a look at the document. Okay, so now you can see we've got a document with a heading, we've got subheadings, and if we really wanted to, for no obvious reason, we'll kind of go blah. Let's just see what, oh sorry, that's supposed to be a third level subheading. Blah. Okay, you're starting to get the idea of how to define subheadings. Hopefully this will work. It does its thing. We bring this back up, and you can see that the top level heading is really big. The second level heading is a bit smaller. Third level headings are smaller. Fourth and fifth level headings get smaller again, so that the output sort of has the structure that you hope that it would given the text. And what I will try to do is to put these things side by side so that you can kind of see that what you have here on the left, the raw text that you've typed into your document, is still quite readable, and it's readable enough in a way that tells you what the structure is going to look like when you create the fancy thing on the right. And of course we can change what the theme or what the style is of the thing on the right, but the underlying structure in the text will stay like this thing on the left, which is a very good thing. Okay, so I decided when I wrote these slides, I thought I will do all of this as one demonstration at the end, but I've decided it made more sense to do it as we go. So we've already had the demonstration. So instead of doing the same thing again, you have a homework assignment. Sort of, not really homework, but have a go at it yourself. Make sure you've got your own RStudio Cloud project, which hopefully you did from the other video. Open a new plain markdown document, save it as myfirstmarkdown.md, write some markdown, build it to an HTML file by clicking the preview button, and try and play around with all of these different markdown features. Give it a go, try a bunch of stuff, see what kinds of things that you can create would be. I don't think that was grammatical. So I'm going to stop. In the next video, I will introduce a few more markdown features. And yeah, I'm going to stop now.